Hey everyone, my name is Matthew Lee and I am a payment engineer based in Malaysia. I'm also the founder of Madmay Studios. Today I'm sharing my very first published pop-up book, and it's called A Pop-Up Book of Endangered Wildlife in Malaysia. And it's possibly the first in Malaysia as well. So my aim was to educate the next generation about wildlife animals in Malaysia, as there were so many reports about our animals being extinct. For this project, I started off with sketches. This is the sketch. That is the final and the first sketch, where I design and come up with the pop-ups according to the animals themselves. From here, I translate it into prototypes. So this is the rough prototype, where I just made it a smaller version and rough details and everything, and I just want to see how the pop-up looks like if I cut it and everything. So this is one piece of paper. In the final output of the book, it's different pieces. Most of the spreads using V-fold techniques, and some of the pages I added a little bit more interactive, which is with the flap. So there's this page and this page with questions that leads to it being open. And these are like double gutters as well. This page, for example, it took me 9 to 10 different cuts to make it look like a stomp, because I wanted it to relate to one of the facts, which is it scares away rivals by beating the ground with its hooves at the rate of 7 times per second. And I wanted to showcase that animation, and I added a stomp effect over down here. And you can just do it 100 times and it won't tear it apart. Each page has its own QR codes that leads to the IUCN Red List, which also showcase even more information about the animals, except for this guy who is extinct in Malaysia. So I also designed and wrote the book. I also learned that you're supposed to have a white model before you actually print it out with colors. So this is testing the materials, the final materials that I decided to go with. Also like to share how the progress of the covers. So this is the first cover, and this is the second, and finally the final cover. This is the how it looks like from this to this. So the biggest challenge to produce your very own handmade pop-up book is not just the mechanicals, it's not just the pop-up that you have to come up with, it's also the measurements, especially the covers. The covers was the hardest for me, and to hand assemble about 100 units of this book alone is the biggest challenge ever. I outsourced the printing, the cutting, but the gluing, the assemble, the folding is all done by hand, and it's only just me at the moment. It's just through eye and hand coordination. There's no precision, there's no layers whatsoever to keep it the same. So there's a little bit of inconsistency in each books. Another reason why I want it to be hand assembled by me is because I've tried outsource it, but I find it very hard to control the quantity and to have a sample in my hand at a very limited time. Something that I can see, something I can do with, something I could even troubleshoot and make the templates even more better and simpler when I wanted to assemble 1,000 pages. For me, this project was all about proving that even with limited resources, it's possible to engineer and self-produce a very meaningful pop-up book. So that's it for me. Thank you so much for listening. I have so many other projects on my IG, on my Instagram. You can follow me there and start a conversation with me. And I'm happy to show more of the steps that I couldn't be able to show remotely on these sessions. So yeah.